Soul-stealing magi.
Flesh-eating creeps.
Yeah, it's just another day at the office for the madhouse. My werewolf partner and I attempt to keep the peace without being torn to pieces. Weep at the wonder
Howl at the horror.
and keep the light on. It's gonna get dark. This is the 100 Handed.
Lost Souls.
Episode 23. Can't stand the heat.
Are you awake, daughter? I'll take that as a yes. Should have killed you. And if you'd done that, then you'd be getting your psyche torn out in Maya's mind forge rather than here in my care. Hold still.
Huh?
Ah! Ah! Fuck.
That doesn't feel so bad.
I feel different.
You should be fully reverted at this point before whatever mishap those heathens at the madhouse did to ruin your beautiful body. You're human again. Human-ish.
Thanks. So, can we, do something about these?
I wish I could say that I trust you more, my Veronica. But the Madhouse is a dangerous, insidious organization caring only for the perpetuation of its own power under the pretense of helping the downtrodden.
Don't sound so impressed. And I've seen who you've thrown yourself in league with. The 100-handed are monsters wearing the faces of men.
Then join us! We have freedom, real freedom. I've only been with the 100-handed for a brief time, but the resources on hand, the protection from other magi, and the creeps, nothing else can compare. And soon.
I can't do that.
Veronica, you don't even know!
Then tell me. Everyone's so fucking cryptic. Why doesn't one of you just say what you fucking mean?
Very well. Veronica, I made you.
Very funny.
Literally, I made you. I'd always had an interest in creating life with my own hands, but it's absurdly difficult to get it right on test subjects.
Test subjects? That's horrible.
I know! Every result was abjectly horrible. Nothing came out right. Had to scrap too many projects, but I came across some of my father's old notes. He'd been a flesh carver himself, though I doubt he would have used the term. Too crass for the likes of him. But no, I created you from the corpse of a dead girl.
You broke the pact.
Omelets and eggs. The creep who brought her to me was found many years later and gave me up. The madhouse stormed in, those sanctimonious, self-appointed high priests of right and wrong. Absurd! I lose myself. Anyhow, I labored for God alone knows how many years on that girl's cells. She was quite promising. Probably would have made a good Imagimancer if she'd lived. But I didn't manage to make much progress. Not until I'd uncovered a hidden cache of Father's notes. I thought they'd all been lost after he passed away. But after a time, I ended up finding a hidden compartment in his study. And let me tell you, those designs...
Look, I'm not here to listen to your daddy issues.
You exist because of my daddy issues. Please, don't make me lose my temper like that again. As I was saying, I found the notes years after his death. It took an incredibly long time to decipher them, but everything in them indicated serious techniques in the manipulation of organic bodies via the gloom. The implications became quite clear. Life could be created with the gloom.
That's what this is? Some sort of sorry attempt to make up for a fucking defect or something? You couldn't have a child, so instead of adopting, you decided to follow in your father's footsteps, leading straight to hell?
I'm perfectly capable of having children. No. Father's research indicated that we could create not just life, but life to increasingly perfected degrees, free of the flaws bred into us by chance. My father was in many ways onto the holy grail of flesh carving. Absolute mastery of the biological world. So many psychomancers, Maya included, scoff at the idea. But if the gross material realm were utterly useless, you wouldn't have so many creeps trying to sink their teeth into very earthly bodies and necks.
And so I'm this perfect being?
Oh God, no. But you were my first real success. My father wanted an organism without defects. But with you, I saw a platform I could build upon. I could see farther than him. Before you, nothing came together. But you were the first human I created. My little Eve, from whose body mankind's eventual perfection would arise.
All right, I can see where I got the literary impulse from.
You even owe your sense of irony to me.
I have memories, Catherine. I went to school, college, wrote my thesis on Blakean influences in the work of Neil Gaiman. I taught middle school, for Christ's sake. You can't fucking tell me that all of that suffering was just a... what? Some kind of fucking head game? False memories?
Have you ever sought anyone from your past life out?
Well, no. I mean, after Wexler and Michael hauled me back to the madhouse, they didn't exactly give me free reign. Ha fucking ha. You expect me to believe that I'm not even 15 years old yet? Do I look like a fucking child to you?
I think I will let you out of those restraints after all.
Not afraid I'll tear your head off?
Oh no, not anymore.
What are you...
Make yourself at home.
This is a prison cell.
Security center, actually. Maya just decided to add a detention area.
Yeah? She just slid a detention center in her cutting-edge residential tower past the construction crew?
My dear, I would expect you to know that a Magi always finds a way to accomplish her goals. After a spell, money's a bit useless to us beyond its ability to facilitate our research.
Yeah? Well, you're gonna need some for your hospital bills. Bad fucking idea. What? I just got you square on the jaw.
I think you misunderstand. I've given you a clean bill of health, Veronica. No more lycanthropy. No more raging beast within. Just a life form, rapidly aged and adaptable to pass as human. Not to mention, I've taken care to augment myself. It's a dangerous line of work. Not all of my specimens were obedient, and so I took measures to ensure that, while I'm not much of a fighter, I'd at least have some degree of enhanced toughness.
I'm really beat, aren't I?
Afraid so. We've got a good setup here, V. Maya's constructed this entire tower with the notion that it could eventually be like her Mind Forge, except writ large. The entire tower has been constructed in such a way for mass sacrifice. Air, Ignis, Aqua, Terra. The unyielding violence of the four elements harnessed to tear the minds and souls out of the vapid, insipid drones this building houses.
You're so cynical.
Aren't you?
All this talk of building the perfect being, and you don't give one iota of a shit about the countless imperfect beings that you run into every day?
Something catch your eye on one of those monitors?
No.
Liar. Catherine Gage here. Potential Imagomancer activity. Check out sections D, O, and L. Someone in one of those areas is not who they seem to be. No hard feelings. I won't blame you for feeling empathy. It's a sign I did my job well. But come, let's go watch the show, shall we?
Michael, this is you. Think for one goddamn second about what you're doing. You hate the Magi. You hate what all of this stands for.
You think you can tell me what I stand for as you dangle by your scrawny throat? I ought to ring you like a chicken, Evan, but I think I'll gut you like a pig. Farewell, Wexler.
I'll try. I brought both feet up and kicked Michael in the stomach as hard as I could. His grasp broke. More surprise on his face than pain. And I fell over the railing and went hurtling toward the street below.
Son of a bitch, please! Oh! Mason?
Can't talk. Gonna land.
Land? We're still 50 stories.
Can you move?
I hate flying.
Wexler, can you move?
I'm afraid to. As long as I'm laying here, I won't have to find out if my spine's been turned into a crazy straw. Thanks for saving me.
Yeah, no problem. Comes with the territory, I suppose.
I don't know how much more I've got in me.
Where do we go now?
We failed to stop her up there, and there's 2 more sites she's going to reap.
So there's Site Ignis and Site Agua. Only question is, which one do we go to first?
I weaved my way through the belly of the tower, the back rooms, maintenance hallways, all of the ventricles and capillaries that pump the workers into whatever avenue they need to go to keep the residential tower running. I ducked into the employee bathrooms next to the kitchen, then slung my camera bag into the nearest open stall and locked the door behind me. Michael wouldn't approve, but his reckless, hard-charging attitude is why I'm in this mess to begin with. Let's see. Acantha's map has the Ignis ley line in the nearby kitchen. Overhanging pools, gotta be Site Aqua. Kitchen's on the 1st floor, no surprise. Pool's on the 10th, overhanging the street level.
Excuse me? Is something the matter?
Sorry, ma'am. Restroom's closed for maintenance.
Everything okay?
Just have to clean out some trash. Have a good day now.
Okay, but also wanted
Did you think you'd go by unnoticed, Imagomancer? I recognized you. In the hallways when I asked, One of the maintenance men said that you were here to take photographs. Photographs, huh? I suppose there's only one reason you're here. You're trying to figure out just how to stop the ritual. You can't, because you'll die now.
Get out, you fucking weirdo!
Ah, wrong stall. My apologies. Although, while I'm here, can I ask you a favor?
The fuck?
Can you take a look at my index finger? The tip, it hurts. It started doing this thing where the bone shoots out like a spear point.
Sir, please leave. I'm calling the...
Ugh, always hurts when I have to use my own bones. I bring the dust of the dead, the salt of the forever...
Waiting seemed like a bad idea. I unzipped the tripod bag, taking the rifle out, and began scrambling to assemble it. Come on. Come on. Almost.
No? Playing the old draw the feet up and pretend all the stalls are empty game. We've already harvested the partygoers atop the roof. The other two groups will be harvested as soon as the preparations are finished.
The shadow cast by a pair of legs stretched underneath my stall door. I raised the assembled carbine and readied my aim at center mass.
End of the line.
I peered through the haze of gun smoke and saw a woman laying on her back. 5 dark holes in her body, each a period at the end of a gruesome sentence. What the? Oh, shit! Realization hit me a split second before the explosion did. The bastard was a Gravecaller, the magi that commanded bones and the dead. He's reanimated the poor victim's corpse, turned her into a zombie. The woman's corpse bucked and arched before bursting apart in a hail of bone. I dropped to the floor, trying to make myself as small a target as possible. Several bone fragments lodged into my leg. The Gravecaller began walking around to the front of my stall, so I did the only thing I could. I opened fire on his legs before realizing that the bone shards had damaged my weapon's components. Shit. It was time for Plan B. Get the fuck out of there. I half-scrambled, half-crawled underneath the stalls as he reached my stall.
Get back here! You won't ruin this for me!
I was out from under the last stall now, climbing to my feet. My legs screamed in agony as I put weight on it, and I collapsed into the bathroom sink. Work with it, Lily.
Is that how the madhouse operates? A half-hearted attempt at gunning me down, followed by hand washing?
I plunged my hand into the wrist-deep water, then called on the wild scar. Power surged through me, forcing me to throttle it with the center of soul so nothing terrible happened. To me, at least. My hand came out of the sink, and the water had crystallized into a perfect, baseball-sized sphere of ice. Play ball! Ha! The solid ball of ice connected with the Gravecoller's cheekbone, shattering into diamond dust. An unreal howl came from the Gravecaller, the kind of bloody murder screaming that could wake the dead all on its own. I hobbled to the locked bathroom door, fumbling to open the bolt. I pushed through the door and ran, leaving the stunned Gravecaller behind.
You aren't looking too good.
No, I guess not. The storm of psyches, all these souls roiling, the magic of the tower. It must be interfering with whatever Solomon used to patch me up. I did what I could, but Michael messed me up pretty bad at Unholy Smokes, and I think that window did the rest.
Can you do anything?
I'm still ugly as sin. I might be able to scare a drunk, but that's about it.
and nobody.
You may have your chance yet, Mason.
Hey, asshole, watch where you're going.
Sir, kindly escort my friend and I to your domicile before I blow your brains out. Wait, aren't you one of the drunks I met back in Redsboro? What are you doing all the way out here in Austin?
The cops blamed me for you escaping, and I got a pretty banger lawsuit payout.
You had a friend. What happened to him?
He died in a cage fight in Mexico against an orangutan.
No further explanation is necessary.
Does that mean I can go?
Ah, shit.
No. Follow me or I'm gonna hit you with increasingly heavy objects.
I don't know if I can drink anymore.
Keep drinking. Mason, you sure this will work?
No. Let me get into position.
Jesus. Why does your friend look so weird?
Oh, don't worry. You'll see. Now, smoke some weed or something. Get good and high and paranoid.
Didn't you put me through enough already, man? You've got a gun pulled on me. I'm already fucking paranoid.
Here.
Smoke the weed.
Well, I guess if you insist. You got a light?
Goddamn. What's in this?
Demon's blood.
Is that a new indica? Dude, aren't you supposed to keep us protected from the forces of darkness?
I protect people from the forces of darkness by being the nastiest, scariest motherfucker lurking in the aforementioned darkness.
Some protection.
Mason.
I am the demon of Noonday, and I have come to make my demands of you, puny mortal. Heed my call, and I shall be merciful and spare you. Ignore my beckons, and I will tear your teeth out one by one and devour your hygiene.
No! I thought we were done with demons!
I demand to be taken to the pool party.
I burst into the kitchen, and a wave of heat slapped me as if it were an open palm. If I was wrong, a lot of people were going to die. I grabbed an apron hanging on a rack and draped it around me. The rest of the staff were sweating copiously, hunched over whatever assigned task and attempting not to pass out from the heat. Most of them didn't even notice me, despite my bleeding leg. The head chef approached me, a brushstroke of sweat painted across his forehead. He gave me a suspicious glare, then began demanding to know if I brought back whatever instruments or ingredients he must have sent someone else for. During his rant, he paused. Then he began to speak again, but passed out before he could do so. This is definitely the place. They aren't going to burn these people alive. That'd risk the integrity of the tower. They'll just use another association of fire, heat, to snuff them out. Everyone in here is going to die from heat exhaustion if I can't figure out where the Ignis ley line is focused. A junior cook, his head bobbing, passed out at his station, narrowly avoiding landing on his knife as he did so. As I walked through the kitchen, I could see out to the restaurant floor. Most of the patrons were suffering the same fate, patrolling the area where the carved, each one wearing some sort of bracelet, though I couldn't make out the design from here. First things first, I need to get these bone fragments out. Come on, Lily. You can do this. Ah! The bone fragment bounced along the floor until it came to rest at a large metal door. The fridge! That'll buy me some time. Fog rolled out when the cool air from the fridge met the sweltering hot air from the kitchen. I pulled the door closed behind me. Slumping down along the wall, I cradled my wounded leg. Fresh blood had oozed through my jeans, dripping in deep, ruby droplets onto the floor of the fridge. Well, Lily, great mess you're in now. At least you have a small window so you can watch those that you failed to save slowly die an agonizing death from heat stroke. You'd think someone would... Holy fucking shit! Through the fridge window, I could see one of the cooks messing with the thermostat across the way, slapping it futilely. The thermostat! That's got to be the location for the Ignis ley line. Things probably enchanted with the gloom to drain the life and soul out of the people in this area. As if to confirm my theory, the woman messing with the thermostat nodded her head, as if she'd suddenly grown sleepy, before pitching forward and collapsing. Her psyche, a silvery reflection of her physical body, rose out of her corpse and began to flail in psychic pain as the thermostat drew in her soul. It's not too late. I can stop this. My vision blurred. It'd have to have heated up by 10 degrees in the brief span that I'd spent in the fridge. I propped the fridge door open, hoping that the cool fog rolling out of it might buy me some time to figure out how to disable the Ignis thermostat. Once I stood at it, I reached up with my hand. The doorway to the center opened, and the cosmic energy poured from the beyond realms into my hand. And I prepared to force it all into the thermostat to disrupt it. The woman I'd watched die rose from the fog, both of her hands gripping my legs and pulling me with a brute strength away from the thermostat. No! Throughout the kitchen, the bodies of the dead staff rose out of the fog, glassy eyes focusing on me. I tried reaching for the thermostat, the energy crackling in my fingertips, ready to disrupt the ritual. Another hand grabbed my forearm, jerking it to my body. The charge slipped out of the wild scar. I couldn't risk discombobulating myself, or worse. The zombies were all around me. They hoisted me up, dropping me on the stainless steel table. One of the corpses pulled a chef's knife out of his torso. A spurt of blood leaped from his chest as he did so. From where I was restrained, I couldn't make out much, only that the knife had been handed off to someone wearing black gloves.
I will save those I set out to save. Find peace in the next life, or hell. I don't care.
He held the knife up above me in a reverse grip. And then it came whistling down.
The 100-Handed is a Madhouse radio production. Created and written by Tom Trest. Directed by Brooke Pillafont. Sound design by Tom Trest. Theme music by Ian Flores. Original score by Drew Griffith. Featuring the voice of Gage Richter as Evan Wexler, Brooke Pillafont as V, Mike Blackwell as Mason and Calloway, Cynthia Cruiser as Catherine, and Deanna Lalich as Lily Thomas.
And me as a drunk. I'm still drunk. If you want to support the show, check us out at 100handed. That's 100handed.com. And leave us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple and Podcast Addict and Castbox. And hang on, let's see what Castro, do that one. Player FM, Pocket FM, Good FM. Actually, I don't even know if any of these let you leave reviews. Good Pods, do that one. Did I say Pocket Cast? Well, I shouldn't say that's my favorite one. That's kind of my favorite one. That's the one I use. But yeah. Oh, there it goes. But yeah. And then tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. Tell your enemies about it. Tell everybody about this. Print out stickers. Leave them in dingy college bar restrooms.
Hey, that looks pretty
right
cool.
above the urinal, so that people have to look at it. If nothing else, just tell people about us, okay? That guy who's kind of sitting next to you on the bus stop, and you think he might, flash his penis. It's kind of scary. He looks weird. He might have a knife. Tell him about it. Just tell everybody about it. Tell the people that you're in jail with about it. Whenever they get out, they can turn their life around, and this will be the first step. I turned my life around. Please, you don't have to give me applause. Yeah, what? Just keep clapping. Yeah, that's great. Oh, yeah, that's so good. And this show is the key to that. This show will fix all your problems. Who knows what else might be in store? Weep at the wonder, and howl at the horror. Until next time, see you later. Goodbye.